Greetings, students, and welcome to one of my favorite lectures to give every term, entitled How Not to Fail My Class. Now, if you were getting the in-person version of this, it would be a little different, but we'll be doing this online dueling camera thing here. So you'll notice in the background here I have Blackboard up. That probably doesn't look like your Blackboard right now. Don't be alarmed. This is the professor version of Blackboard. Don't you feel special? Ooh, you get to see the professor version. Ooh, fancy. But I wanted you guys to see a nice complete week. That's like a normal week for us and not this week, which isn't like a super normal week for us. Just to get an idea of the best practices here for moving through the class. So every week we have our very own special tile for the week. The week that we're doing as an example is going to be this one, week 7, race and ethnicity. I've always chosen a pretty picture and all of that. So what you'll do when you go into these, you'll always notice two things first. So you'll always have this weekly overview, objectives, and to-dos. These should be fairly familiar to you if you've ever taken an online class with Central Penn. So if you go into this, you will notice, for our purposes here, there's always a weekly overview video. Oh, look, it's me. Hi, me. And then underneath, there are learning objectives, what we're going to be learning that week. And then underneath that, for my checklist folks, who are kindred spirits, I enjoy a good list. We have a nice list there for you. So obviously I go over all of that information in the video as well, but if you like to have a nice list, you have that option there. So for this week, for example, we have the overview video, always a good place to start. And then we move immediately into our textbook reading. Most weeks will look like this. Most weeks we'll start out with our textbook. I always kind of do that first to get it out of the way. It's not the funnest part of this class. I know that, but it's kind of necessary. So we kind of get that through, get that done. That's always accompanied with a textbook quiz. For more information about your textbook quiz, you'll go down to the assignments video coming up. And then after that, we actually get into our instruction for the week, actually the new stuff, the stuff that I'm giving you. So there's always going to be keywords and concepts videos from your textbooks where I pick out the keywords and concepts you need to know from those weeks. Now, I don't make these videos for my health. I don't make them for fun. So obviously, if I'm narrating a whole PowerPoint for you, there's a reason I pay attention to it. Maybe those are the things that will be on your exam. So in those videos, I go over those keywords and concepts. You also get additional context. They're kind of little mini lectures. They're not super long, 2-3 minutes on each of those. So for that week, we have 3. And then most weeks, sociology really lends itself to study by film, to study through documentary. So most weeks we're going to be watching media of some kind. I know it sounds awful, right? I have to watch movies for a class. So for this week, we're actually watching something called A Class Divided, which I'm super excited for us to get to. So I have a little introduction video to the media so that you're not just watching it out of nowhere. And then you'll go and watch the media. And then we always have a discussion board anytime I give you guys anything to digest, be it reading or a video or something to listen to, whatever it is. So you'll participate in the discussion board. We talk more about the discussion board in the assignments video. So if you want more information about that, that's where that is. And then this week we actually have 2 discussion boards, which will happen. We do have 15 total, so some weeks there's going to be 2. We also have a separate immigration activity in this list, as well as a discussion board for that activity. And now in this week, we also have part of our signature assignment due. Again, assignments video for more details. And there'll always be additional information about that for you as well, so that we'll go over that. All right, so that's your overview. That's always where you want to start every week. And then after you've done your overview, you'll notice there's a whole folder down here, and that has everything you need for the week. So when you open that folder up, you'll notice you have the link to our textbook reading. Some of you folks like to keep that bookmarked separately so that you can maintain highlights and things. Up to you. I just make it easier here for you. And then there's our quiz. You see that there. I have a place for you to turn in your assignment. It's always helpful. But then we have our keywords videos. Here they are. Nice little narrated PowerPoints, just so that you understand the important parts from the chapters. There's the introduction to the video we're watching that week. There's the link to the video we're watching that week. Underneath that is the discussion board for that video. And then we have our immigration activity as well as our immigration activity discussion board. So once you've completed everything on your list for that week, you are done until the next week. Everything drops on a Sunday. Everything is due on a Sunday. Now, public service announcement. I made everything due on a Sunday for your convenience. I know you guys are used to turning things in on a Sunday, and I didn't want you to get turned around on that. I cannot grade things on Monday. I teach on Mondays. So I'm at Penn State for a decent chunk of the day. I might get started with things, but I might not necessarily finish them until Tuesday. Thursday at the absolute latest. I do try to grade things quickly. I know you're waiting for feedback. I know you've worked hard on things and you want your feedback from your professor as soon as possible. So I do work on getting things back to you as soon as possible. So those are some important things. Always go in order. Always go in order. If I give you a list, if we go back up here, we had this list, right? I have this list. It isn't in order. It is a very important order. If you do not go in this order, you will be confused. I do try to keep the things in the folders in the order, but sometimes Blackboard likes to move things around. I think it does it to get on my nerves. But sometimes it hops about. So follow your order so that you know what you're doing and you're doing things in the correct order for that. Other ways to not fail my class. Contact me. I cannot know you are struggling with something if you do not tell me. I am not psychic. I have not developed that ability yet. It's very sad. So please contact me. I have office hours. You can come visit. If you're not available, then shoot me an email. We can schedule something. I'm super flexible with that kind of stuff. So just get in contact with me. Let me know if you have questions. Make sure you turn everything in. Make sure you turn everything in on time. Make sure you're doing all of the work. And then finally, my last piece of advice for making sure that we do not fail my class, please do not use AI. Please don't. I know you think you have found a way to go through college without actually going through college, and no, you have not. You have really not. It is not a calculator. It is not a tool. It is plagiarism. Okay, in this class, it is plagiarism. You are passing off work that is not your own. I know it is extremely common for students to use AI in discussion board posts. Please have respect for me and your fellow students that they don't want to talk to a computer. They want to talk to their peers and their professor. Think about it this way. How would you guys like it if I started doing all of my feedback in your discussion boards, on your papers, if I started using ChatGPT for that instead of me doing it, if I just outsourced it to AI? You wouldn't really appreciate that, would you? You probably want me to look at things and not a computer. Same idea. Okay, so let's have respect for each other, and please don't use AI. I don't like the paperwork involved with plagiarism. It's a pain. So just don't do it. Do your own work. Learn things. Get the value out of your college education that you are paying for. And one of the things you're paying for is me. Is me to talk to you and me to interact and me to do things. So since I have enough respect for you to do my work for you, I would really appreciate it if you could have enough respect for me to do your work for me too. Okay? So that is your How Not to Fail My Class video. One of my favorite videos to give every single term as we get to know each other and everything gets going this week. But this is what a normal week will look like, and that is the normal way to navigate and how to get along with this class. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.